Hey everyone, I'm usually all about the future, but lately I've been reflecting on my past. I realized many of you don't know much about me, so I thought it'd be good to share my design journey with you. By exploring the path that led me here, the tools, challenges, and breakthroughs, we might get a glimpse of where our field is heading. I was born in Daegu, South Korea, a pretty conservative city known for its hot summers and strong accents. Growing up, my world felt small and kind of isolated, with TV being my only real window to the outside. I didn't even meet a foreigner until I was 18. And fun fact, I'm actually the first and still the only person in my family's history to live outside of South Korea. As a kid, I loved drawing with pencils. The eraser was my safety net. Now, I don't need the eraser anymore, and I'm not afraid of starting with a blank page. Here's how that changed. I start light, then build up with darker lines. Those initial sketches become barely visible, but they add incredible depth. This approach transformed how I view blank pages and mistakes. Now, I layer and refine without erasing. It's become my philosophy for design and life. Start light, build confidence, and make bold strokes. Every line contributes to the final picture. School memories are a bit of a blur, but math and science fascinated me, even if I wasn't great at them. TVs and cameras captivated me too. They were just magic to me. I grew up with kind, hard-working parents who design and produce fabric for hanbok, traditional Korean dress. My dad, for me, a human Swiss Army knife, an artist, self-taught designer, and engineer rolled into one. He can build a house from scratch and taught himself Photoshop at 40. His constant learning has been a huge inspiration for me. While he might not excel in business, his creative and technical skills have shaped who I am today. My uncle is an industrial designer. When I was little, our entire family visited his graduation show and saw futuristic cars and products that left a lasting impression. Studying design at university was a natural choice. I dove into product design, constantly sketching cars and electronic devices. I spent days and nights bringing these ideas to life on the computer. The classroom and CGI clubroom became my second home. Long hours flew by, never feeling like work. This period cemented my path in design. Shortly after my 2 years of military service, the iPhone entered the scene, quietly starting an industry transformation. At the time, I didn't realize how it would impact my life as a designer. In 2009, I decided to pursue my design journey in England, where I could also improve my English. My time in England transformed my view of design, influenced by two key figures and leading me to choose my university. Tim Brown's On Design Thinking became my main inspiration, and Joni Ives' simplicity-focused design language also captivated me, later influencing my move to Germany. These influences shifted my perspective. I began seeing design as a powerful problem-solving approach with wide-reaching impact. Everyone calls me InQ, and it was born in 2009 in Portsmouth, England. An old lady at my hostel struggled to pronounce my name. One day in the kitchen, using the freezer as an impromptu whiteboard, we brainstormed the closest English pronunciation. That's how InQ came to be. Later, I added DE to my digital identities, meaning design. Interestingly, it now doubles as a nod to Germany, where I live. A happy coincidence. In 2011, I moved to Germany to join Ziba as an industrial designer. Our small, young team was passionate and versatile. Though we were all industrial designers, we dove into digital projects too. Being a small team meant everyone had to do everything. At Ziba, I was asked to become our UI/UX specialist. I committed fully, despite the challenge of switching from industrial design. It was my best career decision. This transition felt like drawing over my industrial design background with bolder, more exciting colors. Around 2014-2015, our digital design workflow was frustrating and inefficient. Unlike industrial design, the digital field lacked clear guidance. Everyone was learning by doing. Designing digital products in Photoshop was a nightmare I'd rather forget. This pivotal period saw rapid evolution in digital design. My frustration became a driving force to find better ways of working as best practices were still emerging. In 2015, when Ollie heard about Sketch, I immediately saw its potential. I dove right in, eager to test if this new tool could streamline our daily workflow. The transition to Sketch took a full year. As team lead, I had a tough balancing act. I understood people's hesitation to start over with a new tool, but I also saw where our industry was heading. Sometimes I had to push for change, believing it was crucial for everyone's future growth. My challenge wasn't just implementing new software. It was helping the team see the bigger picture while guiding them through this transformation. By 2016, I was enjoying digital projects but didn't consider myself a good digital designer yet. I lacked understanding of how my designs were developed, which felt like a major barrier to my career growth. Learning web development wasn't easy. I tried courses, but nothing really clicked. Then I discovered Webflow, one of the first no-code web development tools. It seemed promising, and I was excited enough to introduce it to our dev team. We tested Webflow by building a mini website for the Ziba to SMAL transition. While it wasn't particularly impressive to the team at the time, it marked my first step into bridging the gap between design and development. Even though the team wasn't sold on Webflow, I couldn't shake my fascination with it. So I took matters into my own hands and built my wedding invitation website and other internal website using Webflow. It was my way of staying in the game and keeping up with new tech. This project was a turning point for me. It wasn't just about my wedding, it was about pushing myself to bridge the gap between design and development. I learned that sometimes you've got to trust your gut about a tool's potential, even if others don't see it yet. And most importantly, I realized how crucial personal initiative is in staying ahead in our field. The 2018-19 design world buzzed with one hot topic: Sketch versus Figma. This wasn't just about comparing features. It represented a fundamental shift in our approach to design tools. The debate highlighted growing priorities in our field: real-time collaboration, cloud storage, and cross-platform compatibility. These reflected the broader trends of increasing connectivity and the rise of remote work. Our brief time with Sketch was incredibly productive, teaching us that the right tool can dramatically boost efficiency. Figma then revolutionized our workflow, making online collaboration the norm and streamlining the entire product development process. Figma's rise taught us to stay open to new tools in the fast-paced world of digital design. Today's solution might be outdated tomorrow. The pivotal shift from closed desktop apps to open web-based platforms continues to shape our industry. Cloud-based applications have transformed how we work, a trend that's still evolving. In 2018, a design conference opened my eyes. I saw amazing work by other designers and realized how far behind I was. As the team lead, I felt embarrassed not knowing how to create such cool stuff, like watching magic without knowing the tricks. This tough experience taught me that design and coding are connected. I started thinking designers should learn to code too. It wasn't just a work trip. It was a wake-up call that pushed me to learn and change my approach to work. For a long time I felt stuck. I wanted to be more creative, but something was holding me back. I could design things, but I couldn't build them myself. It was frustrating. Prototyping wasn't enough and felt like I was wasting time. I kept thinking, if only I could build this myself. Then I discovered Framer and Spline. It was like a light bulb moment. Suddenly, I could create things I only dreamed of before. The old way was design first, then hand off to developers. Changes were hard and time-consuming. But why separate design and development? They're two parts of the same thing. I believe we should design and build simultaneously, making us both more creative and efficient. The COVID-19 pandemic changed everything globally, yet our business thrived. Our pre-pandemic shift to web-based tools made the transition to remote work seamless. During this time, I focused on optimizing work processes and project management. So, let's talk about time and efficiency. I'm not claiming to be the most productive designer, but I always try to improve how I work. As you may know, I'm a big fan of Tesla, setting aside any political views. What truly inspires me is how they constantly optimize everything. This made me rethink my own work, always looking for ways to be more efficient. Here's what I did. I analyzed my daily routine, listing tools, tracking time, and noting app switches. It's surprising how every click counts. I asked myself, where does my time go? Can I save even a few minutes? It's not about perfection, but awareness and small improvements that add up over time. When I first came across Arc browser in 2022, I had this aha moment. I realized it could save me countless microseconds that I'd been losing jumping between different apps and files. Here's the kicker. Almost all the tools I use daily can work in a browser. So I thought, why not go all in? I made a bold move. I stripped my laptop of desktop apps and committed to working solely in the browser. It was a bit scary at first, but also thrilling. I was basically redesigning my entire workflow around Arc. Talk about practicing what I preach when it comes to efficiency. Of course, optimizing workflow isn't easy. It means facing inconvenience, making commitments, and sometimes forcing changes. Becoming more productive takes time, and consistency is key. Take a look at my dock. Pretty bare, right? That's intentional. For 2 years now, I've committed to using only Arc browser. No need to move my mouse to open other apps anymore. It was a challenge at first, but I stuck with it. And you know what? I'm confident this little optimization has saved me a chunk of time over the long run. In 2018, I discovered Notion. Its potential to solve our information management struggles was immediately apparent. We had been drowning in emails and Slack messages, wasting countless hours searching for information. Our dream was a single hub for all our data, exactly what Notion promised. Recognizing its game-changing potential, a small group of us began experimenting with the tool. We saw in Notion the possibility of a true information superpower. The web is amazing. I believe it's the greatest invention in history. It's an incredibly versatile platform, serving countless functions from entertainment to education to commerce. The best part? It's open for everyone. As a creative person, designing for the web is incredibly exciting because the possibilities are endless. So far, I've shared my design journey, from background to early inspirations, from evolving tools to my passion for web design. But there's one more thing we need to talk about. It's AI. Ever since ChatGPT blew up, it's all anyone can talk about, right? But here's the thing. We're just scratching the surface. Nobody really knows how AI is going to shake things up in the long run. You know, thinking back on my design journey, I've seen so many tools come and go. The ones we swear by today, they might be old news tomorrow. Whether you agree or not, AI will change and is already changing how we work as creatives. Some might feel threatened by this, and that's understandable. But instead of resisting change, let's try to understand it. Before we worry about the future, let's think about why designers exist in the first place. Understanding our roots might help us see where we're heading, and maybe even show us new opportunities we haven't imagined yet. Back in the day, we didn't have designer jobs. Creative people did everything. They were artists, architects, writers, scientists, and philosophers all in one. These multi-talented creators usually worked for the church or wealthy patrons, not for the general public like we do now. Then boom, industrialization hits. Suddenly, everyone's got to pick a lane, stick to one thing to be more efficient. That's how we ended up with all these specific design roles we have now. But here's where it gets interesting with AI coming into the picture. What if we didn't have to worry about being super efficient anymore? What if AI and tech could handle that part? Maybe then we creatives could break out of these boxes we've been put in. Imagine a future where we return to being Renaissance-style creators, free to explore everything that interests us. No more being boxed in as just a UX designer or only a branding specialist. With new technologies breaking down today's barriers, like time and production limitations, we could work across multiple fields again. The boundaries between different design disciplines might disappear, giving us the freedom to create and innovate in ways we never imagined before. That's kind of what I'm predicting, or at least hoping for. So what should we do? I don't have all the answers, but here's my take on AI. Don't panic, be curious. Dive in early and keep learning. When changes come, and they will, you'll be ready. Think of AI as an amazing new tool in our kit. It's not here to replace us, but to unleash our creativity. Picture all the cool stuff we could do without limitations. As for me, I'm hoping I'll still be designing 5, 10, 20 years from now. But I want to be more than just a designer. I dream of being an artist, industrial designer, musician, and writer all in one. Maybe I should start working out to stay healthy for all this. Or will AI handle that too? So that's my take on our future as creators. What about you? What kind of creator would you be if AI could handle all the tedious work? Where would your creativity take you? Lastly, thank you for taking this journey with me and letting me share my story. I really hope it's helped you get to know me better. I'm looking forward to meeting you all in Bubbles soon and creating our next exciting chapter together.